Let's take a look at the production process of flower bouquet. First, made roses, daisies, 5-petaled flowers. Make leaves, branches, small buds. Take out the embroidery. Take out the no-slip gripper hoop. You need to stretch the embroidery cloth on it. The embroidery cloth will be stretched like this. Take out yarn. 3. Take out the needle. Gently rotate the tip of the poke needle. Adjust the needle gear to B. Thread the thread according to the previous threading method. So the thread is worn. Let me show you this rose. You can see 3 dots inside the circle. If there are no 3 dots in the circle, you need to add it with a washable pen. Insert the needle from one of the points. Extract the thread from the back. Lift the needle. Adjust the oblique direction of the poking needle. The needle should be next to the sleeve. Poke down in the direction where the next needle is to be inserted, to the 3rd point. Lift the needle. Adjust the oblique direction of the poking needle. Next stitch. Insert the needle almost in the middle of this line segment. Insert the needle about the middle of the next line segment. Again, poke down in the same way. When the rose is poked larger, can be in the next line segment. Insert the needle a little to the right in the middle. Poke down in this way until the bottom circle is full. Press and hold the thread to disconnect. Poke the thread to the back. Gently unfold the roses with the tip of a needle or finger. Adjust it. So this rose is finished. Demonstrate it again with this rose. Like this, 2 rose red roses are finished. Take out the yarn. 28. Finish poking the remaining roses. Like this, the roses are all finished. And then you start making the daisy parts. Take out the yarn. 22. Thread the thread according to the previous threading method. First poke the round flower core part. Flower core parts poking method. It is roughly the same as the poking method of roses. Insert the needle from the lower right position of the circle. Poke the position above the circle. The next needle is poked at the lower left of the circle. Insert the needle about the middle of the next line segment. Poke according to the size of the circle. The number of circles fills the bottom circle. Break the thread and poke the thread to the back. Then take out the yarn. 23. To make daisy petals. Insert the needle from the outside of one of the petals. Poke to the inside of the daisy heart. Poke back the first needle into the needle. Then poke the inside of the daisy flower core. Disconnect. Adjust it. According to the same poking method, poke the remaining petals of this daisy in turn. Adjust the petals. Gently unfold the flower core with the tip of a needle or finger, so a daisy is poked. This painting of daisies, the stamping method is the same. The remaining daisies, just stamp the corresponding color according to the diagram. Like this, the daisies are done. Then start poking to the 5-petaled part. Take out yarn, 03. Thread the wire as before. Take this 5-petaled flower as an example. Insert the needle from the center point. Lift the needle. You run a needle through one of the petals. Poke back to the center. Insert the needle from another petal. Poke back to the center. And then insert the needle from the other petals. Poke back to the center. Repeat this method to poke the remaining petals. Disconnect. So a 5-petaled flower is poked and made. Demonstrate again. Then take out the yarn, 23. Poke the last 5-petaled flower. And so the 5-petaled part is done. And you start to poke the leaves and the branches. Take out yarn, 15. Thread the wire as before. Be careful when poking leaves and branches. It's all poked from the inside to the outside. Poke inside out. Insert the needle from the inside of the leaf. Thread drawn to the back. Pay attention to the oblique opening of the poke needle, always in the direction of the mole. Adjust the oblique port direction of the poking needle. Poke a needle into the left thread of the leaf. Poke back to the midline of the leaf. Insert the needle a little above the first needle insertion. Poke a needle into the right thread of the leaf. Also poke back into the midline of the leaf. Poke a needle to the left thread. Poke back to the midline. Poke a needle into the right thread. Poke back to the midline. Repeat this method. Keep poking down. As you can see, the location here is relatively small. Poke the needle directly to the top. Poke back to the midline. Disconnect. So a leaf is poked. Demonstrate the poking paper of a small leaf. And watch how the branches pokes the branches. Insert the needle from the inside of the branch. Poke it in the right direction. Poke back into focus. Poke a needle in the left direction. Poke back into focus. Insert the needle at the next bifurcation, focus. Poke it in the right direction. Poke back into focus. Poke a needle in the left direction. Poke back into focus. Poke down in the same way. Then poke to the top of the branch. Poke back into focus. Disconnect. And then the branch is finished. Demonstrate a branch with buds poking a mole. The mole poking method is basically the same. Next, according to the diagram, use the same poking method. Poke the grass green leaves and branches. Like this, the grass green leaves and branches are poked. Take out yarn 17. Poke the remaining leaves and branches. Like this, the leaves and the branches are done. Take out yarn 3. Thread the thread according to the previous threading method. And here's a little flower bud to illustrate it. Insert the needle from the lower right position of the circle. Poke the position above the circle. The next frame is poked at the lower left of the circle. Insert the needle about the middle of the next line segment. Number of circles according to the size of the circle. Just fill the bottom circle. Disconnect. Adjust it. Such a small bud is finished poking. The small buds on the branches are demonstrated again. Then follow the same poke. Poke small buds of the same color to finish. Like this. The small rose red buds are all poked. Then take yarn 23, 28, 17, 22. Poke the remaining small buds in the same way. Just poke to the corresponding color according to the diagram. Parts of little buds like this are all poked to completion. Then start poking into the branches of the bouquet. Take out the washable pen. At the junction of roses and small buds, draw a line segment of about 5 centimeters from the top down. If you use the water pen to draw incorrectly, you can take out wet wipes, gently wiped in the wrong position on the monk. In this way, the traces will disappear. Then take out a dry tissue and wipe it lightly again. And we continue to draw the branches. Pay attention when drawing. It needs to be well spaced from branch to branch. It would be more beautiful to poke it out. Just draw 6 branches like this. Take out the yarn 15, poke the 6 branches to finish. Six branches like this, and the poking is done. Cut a 60 centimeters long piece of number 3 yarn. Take out the big eye needle and threader. So the thread is worn. Gently move the branches with your hands. Move the right branch to the left. Penetrate the big eye needle from the right side of the branch. The tail must be reserved for about 15 centimeters. Then gently move the branches with your hands. Move the left branch to the right. Pierce the big eye needle from the left side. Be careful not to pull too much. To avoid the reserved line segments being extracted, it goes in on the right. Piercing out on the left. Repeat 5 times in total. Remove the big eye needle. Tie a knot with 2 segments. Fold the left and right line segments in half. Tie another knot. Adjust the size of the bow. Cut excess line segments. Take out the wet tissue. Gently wipe off the pen marks. Then turn to the back and trim the thread. Like this, the thread is trimmed. Next, start sewing the embroidery cloth. This completes flower bouquet.